everyone, Rex here. In this video, I'm going to continue on this drawing of this young girl here. I haven't quite given a name yet to this drawing that has been in progress for 4,239.684 years. And I'm just now getting back to it. As you know, if you follow my videos, just been a whole lot of things going on. Anyway, so I'm going to get back on it in this video. It's about time, right? I want to show you something that I just acquired to help me out with this. Now, if you've seen in my couple of my previous drawing videos, I use this, I don't know what you call these things, an easel type of thing. Not an easel, well maybe it is, I don't know.
I'm not using an easel, don't interrupt.
You come up with a name for it. I have this light here that I've been using for quite some time, and that's what's lighting up the bright, cheery face of this young lady right here. And it works pretty good. I mean, lights are pretty good. And to supplement it, I'll use this magnifying glass clip-on thing here that has a light of its own, and I'll pump it up to the maximum that it has there, because I need some really good even lighting when I'm shading. That way I can see that I'm not going too light, too dark, too heavy, too thin, you know? And the other important thing is having the magnifying glass. Now, yeah, I know I have something kind of like a magnifying glass on my nose. That's because my eyes are, you know, kind of fading out a little bit as I get older and older. The magnifying glass is so important because when you're doing hyperrealism or photorealism, it's nice to have a magnifying thingy to, you know, kind of get the details. So that's what I would use this for, is for lighting and this. But you can see there's a lot going on here, right? There's a lot going on. But you know what? I think I've solved that problem. What I did is I acquired a new tool. Let me show you what that new tool is right now. Okay, well, as you can probably see, the light is gone and my magnifying thingy is gone. And I've replaced it with one item, and that is my new magnifying / light thingy. And the other thing you'll notice here is nothing is connected to my easel thingy, which I think is nice because I didn't really like having everything clamped on to my drawing surface. I want as much clutter free as I can possibly get. This little thing right here, swivel in, swivel out, you know, which is cool. And look at the light. Now that's a lot of light compared to what I had from the light and that other magnifying glass thing. And if you'll notice that both the light and the magnifying thing both were clip-ons. You see they got these big clips. And when you have clips, stay there puppy, when you have these clips, when you move these to adjust them, the clip tends to slide around on the easel slanting thing here. Now I'm going to be using this puppy right here, and what I like to do with this, for example, is I'm going to set it to where I want it. I can draw, I got my lighting really cool, and then when I want to magnify, I'm just going to bring it down like this, and notice it's not clipped onto this thing. Okay, look, there's a cold light, there's a really warm light, which I do not recommend you use for drawing. Use the cold light. There you go. The cold light, look, it's got several levels, but you want to get one that's more daylight. And that one there looks more daylight, black and white, you know what I'm saying. And I really like this. It's metal. It's not that bendable thing. but everything's on springs and it's metal, really nice, and fantastic lighting. Okay, let me just bring you guys in here. Come on, come on. I want to show you this. Come on. Now take a look at that. Isn't that cool? So you can just move it in and out to zero in and get details. Look at that. And that's looking right through the lens there. And I can get really into the details here. I can slide it out of the way when I don't want it on here and I don't have a whole lot of things on here. If you guys are interested in this, there'll be a link down in the description of this video. Okay, well, enough of that and enough of this. Let's get right into the drawing lesson. Oh, hey, I see you're back. All right. Okay, so I'm going to get started on here. I had to take a little bit of a break from getting started because, you know, it wouldn't have done any good if I didn't have a way of filming what I was doing, and you really can't see from over there what I'm doing over here. So I had to hook this thing up here. I don't know if it shows, maybe a little bit of it shows, but that's my my camera right there. And yeah, I'm not worried about getting it out of the frame here. Matter of fact, I think it's great. So I was able to add this little contraption here. It's not tied to the thingamadingy thing here, but it's connected to the table, and I'm able to adjust where it is, but it is right where I want it. And now I'll be able to make sure that you can see what I see. You can see what I see. Well, anyway, so that you'll get the most out of this. Okay, so I'm going to get right into this drawing here. Oh, I better turn this camera on so you can see what I'm doing. First, I gotta put my eyeballs on. I'm pretty much blind these days without it. I don't understand why that is. I mean, you know, I take my vitamins every day and everything, and yet my eyesight, I don't know. Okay, so let's get this party going. Okay, now getting back on this drawing after 5,328.4 years of letting it sit here and collect dust. You know, when you're drawing and you draw regularly every day, you know, not only do you remember what materials you were using, but you get in kind of a rhythm. You know, you kind of like on a roll, right? Well, I have not touched this drawing since the last upload of this tutorial, and if you go back, you're going to see that's like 3+ years that I abandoned drawing this. I apologize to all of you guys, but I really haven't been in the mood to draw. It's just, you know, I don't know what to say. Well, I guess I said it, huh? Oh, anyway. So what I'm getting at is I don't know what I was using. So I think the lesson here, first off, is that there are some things that you can do, at least I'm going to do them, that will help you pick up where you possibly left off. Okay, so I'm going to get this on, and this just helps me not to smear things with my hand, you know, as I'm going across here. And this gives me something to rest my hand on so that I can have a very light touch. Now, what I want to do is I want to layer on this drawing here so that to bring the tone more out. And I know that this area right here needs to be a little darker. I just want to kind of take this grayscale and value finder here, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this video. This is pretty much my coming out video. You guys could take that any way you like. But you know, as far as coming back to the thing here, but I'm looking at these two, and I'm going to get an idea here. Okay, you know, I put this grayscale finder on here, and I want to kind of get an idea. Let's see over here. I want to kind of get an idea what this tone is, right? So I'll start with the light one first here, value 10, white, right? And obviously I can see that this has got a darker tone. I can see that that's a darker tone, okay? And right here, it's just barely darker than that one. And then here, it's barely lighter. So it's somewhere between the 7 and 8. Okay, so now that I know basically the tone I'm going for here, I'm going to take a look at what I got here already. Starting from the white, I can see that. Now remember, if you watched my video on how to use this device, I'll put that up there, okay? Should be right up there. You can go check out that video. I give you tips on how to use this thing. It's a little bit of a squinting type thing for me. Works really well, but I can see that it's a little darker, and it's still a little darker. And okay, that's just slightly darker. Yeah, okay, that's slightly darker, and then this one is lighter. Well, I've already got this between 7 and 8. That's what it's telling me, is I've already got that done. But my eyeballs, see, my eyeballs is deceiving me because it's telling me that this has got a lower tone than this. But when I use this, it's telling me that I'm right there in the same ballpark between 7 and 8. All right, so I'm not going to fuss so much with that. Okay, I'm going to leave that for now, and I'm going to go right into let's see, getting these lips done. I think would probably be a good thing to do. All right, so I'm going to use this trusty thing here. Bring her down. Let's see here. Hello, lips. Boy, my eyes are so bad. Let me tell you. I took this plastic thing off. That's what you're listening to. I had taken it off. Just wondering about it. All right, now what I need to do is I need to take this to see what I need to do. Okay. Now you can't see what I'm doing. That's not fair, huh? Yeah, that's not fair. Let's see if I can get that in there for you. Look at that. Okay. But anyway, yeah, I have some minor things I need to do to this. And this has more of a blur effect to it. So I need to darken this a little bit. Okay. And I noticed that this here is not as bright as this one here. So I need to dim this down. I'm going to just take a hard pencil here, like an HB. I'm going to start from the harder and work my way up, because I don't want to get too crazy with this, and I only need to lightly go over it. And as usual, I don't know why I say that, it's been a few years, but like how I used to, is that I'm just going to tone it down a little bit, just like this, okay? Because it's too bright, and the reference has the difference between here and here is not that drastic compared to here to here. It's really quite a bit. So, and you know, the HB was a good guess, because as you can see right there, the differences is already becoming manifest, and it's suggesting that I may even have to go a little darker on the neighboring here, but not much. All right, so I'm just going to tone it down just a little bit, because it's just too bright and unnatural. Like, you know, maybe she drank some milk or something, you know. You know, I forgot how relaxing this is. I mean, I'm so chillated right now. This is just really, really relaxing. So the next time my wife gives me a honeydew project and I'm all tensed, I'm gonna come right in here and do another drawing video for you guys. Okay? Don't be calling up my wife and saying for her to give me some more projects so that I can make more videos. That's not what I'm saying. No. Alright, so I'm going to keep going with this. Alright, because I can definitely see the difference here in tonal differences. And I'm just doing this very simple, just really light toning down. Now the other thing I noticed too right off the bat, I'm going to need my stretchy eraser here, the kneaded eraser. Yeah, I don't know what I was working on last. It was such a long time ago. But I'm going to get this thing finished once and for all. And we're going to be real proud of this puppy when it's done. Okay, now that I'm well rested, yep. Now that I'm all rested, should be able to do even better than I did before, eventually. Now right here, let's see, right here, it's light, but right here I have it smudged or darkened, so I'm going to, after making this into a point, make sure I get everything on the camera here, I'm going to just go in here and just carefully take it up that darker smut. Yeah, I did that on purpose, making it rhyme. I'm shameless. All right. There you go. Okay, so it looks a lot better. Now I have a dark area right here that I need to do, and that's going to require a darker pencil, but I can tell by looking at this that it's not going to be a graphite. I'm going to have to use charcoal for that there, those areas right there, there, and there, and there. These are the very dark areas, all right? So I need to go very dark, and I don't want the graphite shine either. So now I got to grab something that I know is a nice, reliable charcoal pencil. All right, so here we have a Pure Noir 3B Conte à Paris. And I know this puppy is really, really dark. So let's give this one a shot here and see if this will do what I want it to do. Okay. Almost to the top there, but not quite. Okay, and it kind of comes down here like so. Probably need a better point on this. Okay, and then here. See guys, this doesn't take somebody with skill, all right? I'm not saying you don't have skill, but you know, I'm saying basically I don't have that much skill. But you know, it just takes having a little bit of patience and an eyeball to do. And that's why I say if Rix can do it, so can you, because you know, the fact that if I'm doing it, that means you can definitely do it. Yep. Yeah. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery, and that does not look identical to me. Oh my goodness. Let me readjust you. Okay. Let me make you smile. I need a point. I need a point on this thing. And who's going to give me a point? Look at this big point that I have. What do you call this nib thing coming off here? But I need the point. I need a point on the end. It's not even in focus. Anyway, it will be easy to break this pencil, and they're not cheap. But I want to see that it works really good in this, because I think that's the reason why it's on my art desk. So I'm going to push it in until it grabs. Go, take it. Oh. Ha! All right, boys and girls, and everything in between. Look at that point. Wow, try that with a razor blade. So, back to the drawing board. And, oh, here we go. I can see it again. And it actually looks like here. And then it has a little thing like right here. How come putting a point on my pencil gives me better eyesight? I don't understand that. That's weird. If anyone has an answer to that, please, post it. Okay. All right, there's that. And then I have this here, but it doesn't belong here. It belongs here. What was I thinking when I did this last time? So, let me get this off. If I can. Another thing too, folks, make sure you know where you're going to plant your drawing, like your details, if you're going to use charcoal, because you're not going to get it off as easy as it was graphite. You can see I can't really get that off unless I get really aggressive. Talking about aggressive, what do you think that sharpener would do with this? This is an eraser pencil. Got the little brush on the end, and then it's got the eraser rubber on the end there. Do you think that sharpener would give it a nice point? I don't know if I should do this. Boy, that would be like the stupidest thing I ever did, huh? If it didn't work. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it just because I'm nuts. Look at that. I even got a point on my eraser thing. What is that? Get off my hand. All right, so let me see if I can get this off with this eraser pencil. Or I'll have to get, oh, look at this. And it's gone. Boy, I was born to do this. All right, so what I want to do first is I want to get this detail back on here. And you guys are probably wondering, are you kidding me? Do you spend like 15 minutes just putting one little freckle on? Yeah, I do. I spend a lot of time on every little dinky detail because I want it to be perfect. Yeah. I mean, if you want to do the quick draws, you can do the quick draws, but I like to do a drawing where people kind of go, ooh, man, that looks real, and I'm like, well, thanks, brother. All right, here we go. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to go here like so. Okay. One of the coolest comments I get from people who look at my drawing, in person, that is that they go, man, look at the detail of that thing. It's like you even got the little pimple under the eye or whatever. You go, yeah, them pimples could be pretty important for a drawing, don't you think? Yeah, person person went through a lot to get that pimple. Why should I take it right off their face when I'm drawing? Of course, if they're paying me and they say, hey, don't put the imperfections in there, I say, all right, I'll make you look like, who do you want to look like? You know? Elizabeth Taylor? I'll make you look like Elizabeth Taylor. Sure, you're the boss. All right, there's that, and then there's, and by the way, in isolation, these details in isolation may not look that great, but when you start to get the whole picture formulated in together and you get the blending done so nothing comes out really super sharp, it's kind of dimmed down a little bit, then you start to see, oh, okay, I see what that is. Okay, so I need to get a little point on that thing right there. All right, then once I get these details put in here too, it also helps me navigate around the drawing, because I can look here and I go, well, this is about an inch away from that freckle and half an inch down from that freckle, and then I can find that freckle here and go 1 inch this way and half an inch this way, and I can make sure that I'm in the right quadrant. You know, I don't have any, I don't have any grid on here, so I'm just going off of what I see here, and I'm just trying to gauge the actual distances and everything. When I did the original sketch, that's where all the measurements came in, and then at this point I am no longer focused on the original scaling or any of that stuff. Now I can get more focused on shading and more focused on details, right? Okay. Now see, as I'm doing one thing, I'm looking over and I'm seeing, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. And I don't want to forget that I need to do that, so I just kind of went right over here right away and said, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and get that in there while I still remember. Besides, it'll really affect my imaginary OCD. Yeah. Mrs. Ricks says I have OCD, but Mrs. Ricks says a lot of things about me, so yeah. I guess if you throw enough things out there, one of them is going to stick, right? I guarantee you, she's watching this video, I'm getting a bruise in the side of my ribs at this point. You didn't tell them that. Yeah, I did. Because I got that OCD you said I had, I'm allowed. All right, so let's see, that's wider there. It's definitely wider here. Okay, it's wider here. All right, and then it's going to get dimmer as we go out here, and I can see I've already started one from back in the year 1905 when I last was drawing this. Well, I really do apologize to all of you who had been following that series, and you're like, man, he just quit right in the middle. Well, I didn't quit. I just, one of the other things too is, if you haven't noticed by looking at this room where I'm drawing, you can tell that this doesn't look anything like where I was drawing before. And that's because this is a different house in a different city, and we moved, and with moving, it kind of disrupted a lot of things, and I had to pay attention to other parts of my life, that that had nothing to do with drawing, because of the fact that, you know, we were now in this new area, and I had to work on the house maybe, or, you know, get familiar with the area. Or you see how I'm just digging up. And then, as I demonstrated in one of my previous videos done years ago, you just put the tape over it and then use that little metal tool with the metal tip, and you can just take all the little highlights out. But I don't need that for this because it's not going to be pure white, see? So, okay, so this, see, you see this part right here? You know, you're probably going, how in the world are you seeing all that stuff? Well, because I just look, it's just right there. Okay, kind of sit back and look at this stuff, and then I could see that this thing comes down, and it needs to come like right to there. So let me mark the end of it with my eraser here, and then it's going to come up like, it's coming up in this angle here, like so. Okay. Gotta get the angles right. Then it goes right to there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's sharp, straight angle here. Then straight angle here. Okay. All right. Let me get that brush. Let me use this brush here and see what. Okay, you see that? You see what I just did there? Okay, I just lightened it a little bit, and I'm going to probably end up doing more or adding more tone around it, whichever it needs to be. But you just want it to look as close as possible, you know. You don't need to be a perfectionist like I try to be, you know. I take that, I'm going to take my Q-tip, I'm going to blend it down a little bit. There we go, just like that. So it's very subtle. And then I could see that I need to do that all through here. So I'm going to get the shapes right. There's this shape here. So I'll use my eraser. Okay, I'm just going to lightly trace out that shape. Then it kind of comes up like here. That's here. Okay. So we're going to go up here like so. Okay. Then it kind of comes up to here like that. All right, and then it kind of goes into the sharp angle here. Okay. All right. This is called eraser drawing right here. This is what I'm doing, right? Okay. And then this part here is all got to be lighter, 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 lighter. I'm not going to do it all with this eraser, but I'm definitely going to get it started. Okay. All right. Okay, and this was here, goes here. You got to dim that out there. Here, here. Okay. Oh, look at that. It's subtle. It's very subtle, all right? So it's not going to stand out, and then people are going to go, you know, look at that. Look at that drastic demarcation. Okay, right there. I'm going to leave that dark spot there. I know you guys are like not knowing what I'm talking about because I'm just rambling on. Because I'm a rambling man. Okay, it goes like that. Hope you can see some of this. You know, it's all detail, but it's all right. I'm gonna definitely finish this drawing, guys, all on camera. You may have to speed it up, or I might speed it up. I'm not sure which I'm going to do yet. If you don't want to see. You know, I've had people even tell me that it just relaxes them. Maybe not so much listening to me talk, but it relaxes them watching me draw. That was really nice of you to say that. But yeah, see, I had this outline with this eraser pen, so I could see exactly where I need to go. I want to try that other pen while I'm having fun with this and see what it'll do, if I can kind of get a little more wholesale thing going here, a little more blendola racing, you know. I got to ramble, rambling man. Oh, look at that. That's interesting there, yeah. I like that. Okay. I really like that. It's like that makes sense. I think that makes a whole lot of sense. It comes like right up to there, like so, before it hooks to the left. See? Okay. And gets right into the old freckle world. So there's that for now, and you can start to see where I got some light blotch patterns here that I need to, if you look at this, you can see you have this light tone here, then you have this shadowy or her darker skin tone here, and it goes down like this, but then you have this pattern here, okay? I have it like this and up and down and then like this and up here, and then you go darker from here on out again. And so that's what I'm doing, is I'm separating the quadrants here, if you would like to call it that. I'm separating these quadrants so that I have the tones correct. Okay. And see, I got to do more here. Okay, and then you get them over here, and you have that. Okay, now that doesn't belong there, so I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. And I'll draw in anything I take out by accident. That's not a big deal. But I want to make sure that I have at least got the lighter tones in where it needs to be. So this is called drawing with an eraser. It's a real thing. Okay. So this is lighter. Okay, this is lighter here. And just by doing this, the neighboring area now looks like it's darker than it needs to be. See, and it probably is. I don't know. If I get too far out of whack, I'm going to get my card here, my gray value card, and I'm going to recheck it. I like that little brush. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I don't know why I decided to tackle a drawing or a reference photo that is clearly got so many little freckles and things that it's just going to eat up most of my drawing time, you see. But it is what it is. Yeah, and if I'm going to use this as my reference, see, now I already know I'm going to have to lighten this up. My other reference was probably darker, but it's gone, and it's the only one I had, so I have to use this one. And I don't even know if this one is in scale. Well, it looks like the eyes are in scale anyway. The head may not be. See, it's a little different, but hopefully not too much. One secret is once you're done with your drawing, get rid of the reference so no one can make a comparison. How's that? Right. All right, let me try the other. Let me get back to my kneaded eraser here. Okay, I'm gonna have to blend. I have to blend this light area in because I don't want it too bright. It needs to be diffused. And I do want to prevent it from getting too spotty from all the dotting that I did. But see, I'm going to blend it in so everything looks like it belongs. But you can see the difference in tone between there and the surrounding area. And I'm going to have to lighten all this up a little bit because I can see now that it is a little bit too dark. But that darkness, let me lighten it up a little. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so with that, what I need to do is I'm going to need to come back in and blend in a light graphite in that area there. Okay, make sure that picks something up. Okay, and get rid of any blotchiness. Okay, so I'm going to go through, look for any blotchy, take it up just a little bit. Okay, I don't want any blotch. Okay. All right, you can leave a little texture, makes it more realistic. There we go. Now, looking at it now, I can tell, okay, this is a little bit too light. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to look at this. Let's see what I have here. All right, so get it out of that bright light there. Put it in the shadow a little bit so I can squint and see. It's slightly darker there, so it's just barely darker than the 8, just a smidgen. And then if I come over here, okay, and then I do this on here, it's clearly lighter than 8. So let's see, let me squint. I gotta make sure. And it's hard to tell the difference. I'm pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a hard pencil, a 2H. All right, it's a hard pencil, and I'm just going to make these really small circles, just like this. Okay, just to keep it all nice and tight. All right. It's not going to change the tone too much. It's very light, but it will be just that minor difference that that I think I see. I think I see. Okay. And then, you know, I'll do a little blending after I got a little graphite down. You got to get a little graphite down before you blend it. You got to have some material to work with, right? You know. These little circles I do, 'cause I love the texture that it leaves too. And then it helps me to make sure that I got some good coverage. All right. All right. Oh, I love it. Okay, now I'm going to take the clean end of my Q-tip here, and I'm just going to do the old smudgeroonie blending. And that is about as subtle as it gets, folks, right there. Okay. And I'm going to tone the rest of these down in the next video, but for right now I am exhausted, and I can see that the missus is home from work. So let me go ahead and hang this up, and we'll go ahead and close this camera. Well, everybody, that's it for my return session, and well, I promise I'm going to get back on this drawing really quick after this one. That was definitely relaxing to do, and definitely going to get back to finishing this thing. It's going to be in chunks just like this, so that you won't miss the thinking process and come to realize just how many loose marbles I actually have up here. But anyway, I hope you gained something from this. I know I didn't cover a whole lot of areas, but I just got to cover the tonal differences, and I got to cover the little details, and I know that there are artists out there that they blow through this stuff really quick. Unfortunately, I tend to take my time on every little thing. I want to make sure everything looks, as close as possible to the original. That's what I like to do. And meanwhile, by doing that, I learn a lot. I mean, I just absolutely learn a lot. And I wouldn't have been able to teach the things that I've taught on this channel had it not been that I've gotten just so detailed oriented in doing these things. But anyway, again, if you're interested in this cool little mirror light thingy, there'll be a link down in the description thing below. I appreciate the folks over there at, let me see what it was called here, the Nakus. You see right there, for making this available, and it really has made it so much easier for me to get back to doing this, because now my work area is well lit but less cluttered, and there's now room to put the camera right here rather than way up on my ceiling as before, and so that way I can at least see what's going on. And so now this setup here is perfect for me to continue putting out these drawing videos. And so hopefully we can get through this in a few more videos. Once this is done, then we can move on to something else. Anyway, if you like this video, want to see more, please give me a like, help me out on that algorithm. And if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button and click that notification button so you'll be informed of my upcoming videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.